been a couple weeks, and we won't go over everything that
Yeah.
was discussed and announced. But go check that out on Nintendo's YouTube page or their Twitch stream.
Yeah,
And
really solid direct, I thought.
yeah, it was. There was some really cool stuff, and especially like just seeing the announcement for Super Mario Maker and stuff, and just living, going through it all and seeing it happen is really hype. And it's a really cool moment
Yeah.
when they announce all the things that they announce.
Yeah, we watched it together after filming Settle It and Smash.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you go see that video, like we're sitting there in front of the TV together, and you can just see where we watched it and stuff. And we should have just filmed our reactions. We
I
had the
know we
camera
should have.
there. Oh, that would have been legit. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah,
Oh, come on. That was, oh my gosh. That
yeah,
would have been perfect. That would have been made for an excellent video, especially we freaked at the Super Mario Maker
yeah.
outfit.
We did.
And your dog Simba just was barking and freaking, and it
Yeah.
was so good. But yeah, to talk about the direct real quick, like you said, we won't get into it in a lot of detail because it's been a couple weeks, and
Uh-huh.
other outlets online have been able to talk about it. The big thing I want to say is that it was a solid direct, and it really turned me around on a lot of things. One really big thing it turned me around on was Star Fox Zero. Um,
Yep.
that game, even on Koppai Podcast, I've adamantly been against.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
we've not had good things to say about Star Fox Zero
and,
every time
and
we've talked about it.
and I still have complaints about it,
Yeah, me too.
but I'm definitely hyped now for it, and for different reasons than I would have been before. And one of the big things I want to push is like one of my thought processes is, and this may be a really weird analogy, so I may lose some listeners or people be like, no, you're just trying to defend Nintendo blindly. But I look at it almost along something like Shovel Knight, where Shovel Knight is a new modern game, but it has those pixel art sort of aesthetics to it to mimic a classic game. And when Nintendo really pushed the retro R Wing with the amiibo support and the very like they're like openly admitted like, yo, we're gonna go polygon with this, it made me kind of think maybe like this design can almost have like an aesthetically pleasing quality to it, honestly, because it looks so bad, where it's like maybe
Yeah.
the jagged polygonness of it is supposed to mimic that N64 thing. And we've talked about that in the past, like that was kind of the art style they're going for, but we just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But kind of with that new appreciation in mind, I've been able to appreciate it more. And like they've also done other things to just improve the textures overall.
Mm.
And I've come around on it. Like there's certain explosions that used to just think looked awful because they're like literally like triangles coming out of something. But now I look at it and it's like, but that does look like what it would look like on the N64, but now it's in HD. And I think I think it could have its own certain quality to it
Yeah.
in that sense. And while I'll say all that and say that I appreciate it now, but I also want to add, maybe for my own credibility, I do wish they would have gone somewhere else with it. I wish they would have gone the Star Fox Assault direction, which was very detailed, very packed. I wish they would have gone with something more along the lines of like what Zelda U will be, where it is Zelda, but they've upped the graphics and it's
Mm.
insane now. Like I wish they would have gone with let's redesign everything from the ground up, where it has that Star Fox aesthetic, but it's very detailed. I wish they would have gone with that, but I could see the merit in them having the polygon look. And the other thing I want to say before, because I know you have some stuff to say, the other thing that I've also kind of come around with is I still don't know if I'm a biggest fan of motion controls. I've been very open in the past about how I hate Skyward Sword's motion controls, and I don't like that being forced in. I don't use them with Splatoon, but I've also heard from people that have been able to have hands-on impressions, and we've also heard a little bit more about from Miyamoto about the game, and it seems like people are trusting the controls a little bit more now. And
Huh.
I think Miyamoto has even been more open about like, oh, those aren't the difficulties in development. The difficulty in development was this, and that, or like it seems like they they would have scrapped the motion controls if they weren't intuitive. And so I'm developing a little bit of a trust that the motion controls are going to work out and be cool. They may not be my favorite, but they could be also, like we were mentioning with Super Mario Maker, a unique sort of perspective and gameplay that we haven't been able to have in the past. That people have even mentioned, like with VR, where a really cool thing about VR is that you can shoot where you don't aim, or that no, you're shooting somewhere you don't even aim. No, you can shoot where you're not looking. Like with the VR headset, you can use the controls to shoot to the left, but your head's looking to the right. and you can kind of have that similar experience. It sounds like with Star Fox Zero, which could be really cool and exciting. And so I'm excited for Star Fox Zero. I'm going to pre-order my copy. And the other things, real quick, before I let you get into your thing, is Paper Mario's coming. I don't know enough about that game to give a thought on it. People are relating it to Sticker Star. I still haven't played Sticker Star, and so I just don't have much to offer with the Paper Mario thing. I think it looks gorgeous, and I love Paper Mario. Everyone I've played so far, which is the N64, Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario. I've loved them all regardless because I just love that aesthetic. Kirby Planet Giant Roboto um, looks really good. I'm excited to play that because I love Kirby. And then Metroid Prime Federation Force, I think, is a disaster.
Yeah.
Now you can have it, Zach.
Okay. Well, okay. Commenting on your Star Fox Zero impressions and everything about your coming around, I think we both have come around a lot more on that game.
Yeah.
I think that initially, I don't know if I have to go back and check the Koppai archives, but I believe that um, initially, I think that you've always been a little more on the graphics, like beating on the graphics than I
Yeah.
have. I
Definitely.
think that. I kind of tried to argue that it's part of the aesthetic like of Star Fox, and that's just kind of it's kind of that arcadey.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's never really my big issue with Star Fox Zero is those motion controls. And if what you say is true, that the people have like Miyamoto's come out in defense and like people have been getting hands on
Well,
it, it's been
yeah,
feeling more
people.
natural.
I know, like, sorry to interrupt, but I
It's
know,
okay.
like, Tim Geddes, for example, from Kind of Funny Games. He's played it at, like, I think at E3, he played it a couple times. He played it maybe at PAX and then at Gamescom. And he said by the fourth time, he was starting to get it, which I know sounds like it takes you four times to get it, but you also have to realize they're throwing him into a level.
Yeah,
He's never played it before. He's surrounded by a bunch of people. He's like some sort of kiosk playing it. I mean, you play a game like at Target, you can't completely grasp it, or at
yeah,
GameStop or something. And also, he's played it four times, but I mean, each time is probably a 5-10 minute demo before
yeah,
someone else in line can move on. So if you can get the controls in 20 minutes, that's fine. You know,
yeah,
I'm sure it's designed in such a way to get it to you. And also, I mean, there's games like, I mean, there's lots of games out there nowadays where it takes a little bit of a tutorial to get you into it because games have evolved to the point where you have all these different things to learn. Like Far Cry Primal, for as my latest example, as the latest game I've played, it's taken me a while to realize, oh, this is how I can do this, and
yeah,
I can do this cool little trick by doing that. And even though those are very traditional controls, it still takes about, like Star Fox Zero, 3 to 4 times picking up the game before you're fluid with it. And so
right.
when you hear someone say that, it's like, dang, it took you that many times. But if you were to say that out loud with a lot of other games you've played, it would probably be very similar.
Yeah,
So
but still, the fact remains just that it's not ideal for me, and
yeah.
like that it makes me think about because I did play Star Fox 64 3D on the 3DS, and they did have the gyro option of like flying around like that. And I
Hmm.
played around with it a little bit, and it might have been partially that the 3D at that time was not the new Nintendo 3DS, so it didn't really stay as
Oh
well.
yeah.
But I
Yeah, yeah.
remember like trying that out, and it was kind of fun and gimmicky at first, but then it was just like, all right, I just want to sit down and fly normally and like use my
Oh
thumbs and control, and that's what I'm hoping that I just don't know. It's just not my ideal. If there was, the option, I would really like it, and that's
yeah.
that's my biggest complaint. My other big complaint, I guess, is probably the fact that I hear a lot of people saying that they're looking often at
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
gamepad,
yeah.
and
That is
so
huge.
yeah, when a game like Star Fox, where I really like, even though it's like the graphics may not be like overly insane, I do like the visual experience, of like the flying through space and seeing it on the big screen and all that. So I'm hoping that I don't know. I hope that I can. I'm definitely like going to get it, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And it does look like a lot of fun, but yeah, my biggest hangups are probably less like the graphics and all that, but it's more of just like these motion controls really concerned me. And when they announced that they were going to delay it, I really hoped that they were going to work out some way to make that less like toned down more or something. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm still
My
a little bit confused on that game, but overall, I have come around like you a bit more on it, and it's just always been those dang motion controls.
yeah, that's Nintendo for you. My big thing with or what you're saying is looking down at the gamepad. I hate that too.
Yeah.
I hate when like even like Super Mario 3D World had that where you had to look down and like tap certain blocks every now and then.
Yeah. And that was
Um,
fine. That was totally fine. Like to
oh, I
blow on
hated
it. Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, well yeah, even if you hate that, then I mean, come on.
Although two things to that, I did like it a lot though with Wind Waker, where you can look down and check your map and stuff. So that was intuitive.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um, the motion controls are gonna be one of two things, or the gamepad thing. One, it's gonna be really awesome and immersive, like Mario Kart, where people love using the Mario Kart motion controls, and even though you and I have shifted to more traditional controls, a lot of people still play it traditional or with the motion controls where
Yeah.
my fiance, for example, she rocks 200cc with motion controls. Like
Yeah.
it's intuitive, it's easy for people to pick up. People do that a lot with Splatoon, and
Yeah.
so it could be awesome like that. And also, you mentioned the kind of cinematic aspect of going at it, and you want to just look at the TV. It looks like the gamepad view is from the cockpit though, and I wonder if that could even offer more immersion by you're looking at the TV and you see the kind of cinematic aspect of it, but then you hold up your gamepad and it feels like you're actually right there because you see it from the point of view of Fox, you know?
Possibly.
That could be really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly. It could be really cool, and I'm just trying to be like the optimist here, where it's
Yeah.
like it could be really awesome, where it's like, whoa, like I'm shooting at this boss
Hmm.
or at Slippy, and I'm shooting him down, and it's like, and I'm actually there. Or it could be something where it's like, dang, like I this hurts my neck. I want to look at the TV, turn off this screen, give me my Pro controller, and
Yeah.
let's go. And
Yeah.
so. I don't think it'll be terribly bad, but it could be less than ideal.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's worth buying and checking out, and
Yeah, definitely.
we'll also probably see more details because it's not even until the end of April that the game comes out, and so we'll probably get maybe even another direct where it has more details. Although they've been doing a direct about every 3 months, and so we'll probably have a pre E3 one. Will be our next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about more Paper Mario, Metroid Prime Federation Force, and Kirby Planet Giant Roboto um, in the upcoming Koppai podcast, or even just like on our Twitter or social media stuff. Maybe if you guys have any questions, you can contact us there to ask about that.
Yeah.
Um, not lots of impressions besides the fact that we're excited for Paper Mario and Planet Robot, and we just need to see more details. And then Metroid Prime. I mean, I think the reasons we don't like it speak for themselves. It looks terrible, which I don't think there's a way you can justify that, even with the 3D slider or what it'll look like on the 3DS screen. That's a DSi game, up res to the new 3DS or the 3DS.
Yeah.
And even I bet the gameplay honestly it probably is really fun. I do want to say that.
I watched the Jose IGN video where he went in with a team and did one of those missions.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I mean, it looks, like I don't know, it looks all
Metro
right.
Prime Federation Force.
It looks all right. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't look like as I don't think that the hate for it is quite, as warranted,
justified. Yeah.
but I don't think it looks amazing, and I do think that the criticisms of like the chibi style and all that, I think those are all warranted. I think those are all
Yeah.
valid criticisms and
Yeah.
are the reason why
I
it's
think it looks terrible.
yeah,
And that's not a Star Fox thing where it's like I'm gonna come around on it when I start to love it more. No, that is a terrible looking game,
yeah,
and it should have been scrapped.
yeah,
Honestly, it should have been scrapped because it seems like they've been working on it for 9 years. Someone had some sort of sunk cost fallacy with that game and just wanted to finish it.
yeah,
And they should have just given up on it. But honestly, hopefully it transfers over into the next Metroid Prime because it seems like after this is done, the guy is open to doing a new Metroid Prime.
yeah,
Just for some reason, he was stuck on this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this transferred over to the next Metroid game with the whole concept of playing with friends and kind of like what Halo's done, where there's that co-op element to it. I wouldn't mind that. That could be really cool to have a Metroid adventure where you're Samus and you're going along with other bounty hunters and stuff. Um, but yeah, not. It needs to be an NX title where it's on the home screen, and kind of have that Halo esque vibe where it's like you're going on this epic adventure and others are with you, but not this.
yeah.
This is just all sorts of wrong.